Hello, everybody. Welcome to another training session. I'm just pulling up my notes. Very excited to talk to you today about Q4 prep. So if you have an e-commerce store, you're selling products already, maybe you have been for a while, you know that Q4 and the holiday season is, the best opportunity basically to make sales. It's when people buy the most. And so for e-commerce brands, it means that, yes, we are in July and we need to plan for it right now. So the first thing that I'd ask, if that's okay with those of you that are live, is just drop a little comment, say hi, let me know where you're listening from, and that helps me make sure basically that my tech is actually working and I'm not just talking to myself in my empty office. So if you are on YouTube, I'll be able to see all your comments directly. On Facebook, there's a bit more of a lag with my software and Facebook, so I can't be sure that I'll see it. But you still should be able to comment, and hopefully I'll be able to see your names as well coming through. So also I'd love to know what you sell. That's really, really nice and helpful for me to kind of understand that, so that if we need to get into some examples, I can kind of use the type of products or niches that you guys are in. I'm expecting this session to be fairly short today. I want to keep it under like 20 minutes, and I'm going to keep it pretty high level and we're really thinking about the strategy here and not the how-to. So that you think about things correctly and you know how to plan for kind of like the next steps. Hey, Bree, north of Seattle. Hey, Tina, New York, USA, upstate New York, I should say. That's what it says. Okay, cool. Hello, guys. So there's a lot that we could talk about when it comes to Q4. Like I could go on and do like a 2-day event to help you plan for Q4. But what I want to do now is really focus on what to do in the next, say, 30 to 45 days. So by the end of your summer for you guys in the Northern Hemisphere, winter basically here in Australia. So end of August, like what is it that we want to have done so that we're moving more confidently into Q4, which I know starts in October, but September is kind of like a long Q4 in my head. And I want to focus also on in this session, on sales and marketing. So I'm not going to be talking about product strategy, like, what offer you should have, what product you should launch. I'm not going to talk about operation, like making stock and all of that. I'm really just looking at what do we do now in the next 30 to 45 days to set ourselves up for success for Q4. Hey, jewelry and decoupage home goods. I know Bree's making jewelry. Tina, let me know what you sell. I would love to know. Okay, so what do we do now to be in a good position to invest into marketing, to make more sales, to sell more, and to basically have a really great holiday season in terms of revenue? So there's really two things that we need to look at, right? The first one is cash flow. And I think that unfortunately, we don't think about this until it's already a little too late. September, when we realize, I kind of wish I had more money in the bank right now to invest into my Q4 sales. And the reason for that is that often we actually kind of see what everyone calls, the summer slump in the e-commerce retail world between, say, June to August, where sales kind of decrease a little bit. There's various reasons for that, but typically people on holidays, they buy less, we're out and about more, and it's just not a peak kind of buying season. And so we tend to see sort of lower sales. If you were to look at your sales across the year for most e-commerce businesses, it's often where we see a little slower months, basically. Now, the problem with that is that this happens just before Q4. And so that means that often we have a cash flow at the end of Q3 that is fairly low, when we would want to have more so that we can invest in Q4. So when I say invest in Q4, there's basically two things that are going to help you make sales in Q4. A, stock. If you don't have products to sell, if we can't afford to buy supplies, if we can't afford to our income in Q4 is going to be capped by our inventory. And so if we don't have cash flow to kind of invest into that, we're going to limit our sales more than we probably would want to. And then the second thing is marketing. And obviously, marketing has a cost. There's obviously a time involvement in marketing activities, but there is also a cost in running ads. Maybe you want to work with some micro influencers, UGC creators. Maybe you want to hire an assistant, someone to help you with your copy or with creating videos or whatever it is that you plan to do for your marketing, that can look like a whole lot of different things. Maybe you have someone that helps you with PR, whatever it is, there's a cost often to it. And if we don't have cash in the bank, obviously we can't invest quite as heavily into those activities that we know are going to be generating sales. So that's why cash flow is important. Now, how do we get more cash flow? So what I see often is that we kind of, the people I see that come to me with this problem often kind of assume that the summer slump is a summer slump and there's kind of nothing we can really do about it. It's kind of a slow season. And the reality is, yes, it's true. Generally, sales slow down at this time of year, but the businesses who feel this the most are also the one who stop promoting, like right now in the summer month in the Northern Hemisphere, winter in Australia, so June, July, August, because they kind of say, okay, well, it's summer slump, so, I'm just not going to do much. There's not much I can do. It just kind of is what it is right now. And that is when you're going to feel it the most. So many businesses still have excellent summer month, or summer month are still very reasonable because they are still promoting their products and they're still running promotions. So I want you to think, between now and the end of September, what can I do to actually promote my products more effectively? What kind of promotion can I run? This can be a discount promotion. It doesn't have to be a discount. So what can I do to basically try and make more sales before the end of September, and planning it now between now and the end of August, right? So it could be that you're going to organize a few flash sales that are going to last, 24 to 72 hours. It could be that you have planned a longer period of promotion, around like a week-ish of promotion. You don't need a reason to do that except that you want to do it. I think that too often as well, we see and we wait for those holiday events, those, social kind of gifting event like Mother's Day, and, so some kind of reason to organize a sale that's outside of our control, when in reality, you can just say, you know what, I'm going to have a sale at the end of August, or I'm going to have a promotion where people, if they buy that much, they get a free lipstick at the end of August. Whatever the promotion looks like, you don't need a reason that's given to you externally. You can kind of just say, I want to make money, I want to make sales, I'm going to run a promo. So I want you to think about what you can do. We got to get back into like basically in your control seat of going, okay, I don't need to accept the summer slump. It doesn't mean that we can fight it. It doesn't mean that you're going to get sales, like you would in Q4, but we can still make sales in Q4, in now in Q3. Are we already at the end of Q3? No, in Q3, yeah, if we do promote. So remember that when you set those up, you're always going to follow the kind of typical promotion, let's say, template, which is a bit of a tease first, where we're going to tease that something is coming, the announcement, which is obviously the promotion is live, and then we're going to have follow-ups based on how long the promotion is. Obviously, if you have a week of promotion, you're going to have more follow-up almost daily. If it's something that is just a 48 hours flash promotion, we're going to have a few follow-ups. We're not just going to send 2 emails. We're going to send 1 for the announcement, and we're probably going to send 2 or 3 on the last day as well to say, hey, it's the last day, it's the last few hours, and just really following up and making sure that people see our emails or our social posts if we're doing that on social media as well. The more emails you send, the more chances you have to get them seen. I know that still for a lot of you, I hear, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to send 2 emails a day. It's not, you're not bothering people. If you are bothering people, they'll unsubscribe, and that's fine. But they're on your list or they're following you on social because they want to know about your business. And not everyone is going to see the email that you send Friday morning at 9 a.m. To someone, they're just going to see the one you send on the next day on Saturday, and they're going to have missed the other one in their inbox that's crowded with a lot of other businesses and work emails and friends' emails. So we have to remember, like, frequency and how many emails we send during this promotion is important. I'm not saying like email people 2 or 3 times a day, every day for a week. That's way too much. But we do need to make sure that we follow up, because I see sometimes people who will have an announcement of the sale and then we have nothing for 3 days, and then suddenly we have an email that's like, hey, the sale is almost over, and we kind of have nothing in between. So you have to make sure that you are emailing follow-ups. We're doing tease, announcement, follow-ups, and then some reminders just before the promo ends. So I really want you to think about that, and what can I do now to generate cash flow in the business before basically, end of August, mid-September, so that I then have money to invest in stock, money to invest into marketing, and basically I can invest more heavily into my sales and marketing effort when Q4 comes. The other thing that we need to think about right now is audience growth. So for that, let me change my little thing here, fancy. Audience growth. So this is also an obvious thing, but unfortunately people think about it too late. Like come October, come November, and we're like, what can I do to suddenly grow my social audience? What can I do to suddenly grow my email list? And there are things that you can do in Q4 as well. I'm not saying we're doing it now, we're not doing it in Q4, but it is not too early to start. I recently had a conversation with a client that was telling me, okay, should I wait? I want to run some campaigns for generating leads and signups into my email list, like some ads. Should I wait for basically Q4 to be here, or should I start now? And I was like, I can't think of a good reason why you would want to wait for this to be. Bye, guys. Sorry, my son is going to school and he's trying to. Bye. See ya. Okay, bye. Okay. Sorry, guys. My son came in with a little yellow flower and he's just about to go to school and he doesn't understand why I can't open the door to my office because he obviously doesn't understand YouTube Live. So I was saying to this client, I don't see a good reason why we would wait, because if you start now, first, you can make sale between now and then to the people that are going to be on your list. Second, we have more time and momentum to actually nurture these people, to introduce the brand to them, to send them email. And it also has kind of a compound effect where the earlier you start, the bigger your audience is going to get by the time we get to those promotions. So don't wait. Also, because in Q4 it costs more. Everyone is investing more heavily into audience growth, whether it's organically or with paid ads. Everyone is just having a bigger effort into audience growth, and so it costs more and it's harder to get seen at that time of year than it is now. So for audience growth, what I really want you to keep in mind is email list. I know social media, all of that matters as well, but your email list is a really important asset. And so the first thing is, if you don't have an email list yet, don't write it off as I'll do this next year. It does not take time to jumpstart an email list. You can set up your email list now. You don't need to set up all the automation and flows right now. You simply need to have a way for people to sign up and a welcome sequence to kind of onboard people basically into your email list. So if you don't have an email list, I would say step one is definitely start one now. For those of you who have their own website, Claveo, MailerLite are the two tools. I'll write it down because it's really hard to pronounce. So you guys might be thinking, what did she actually say? Claveo, and then another one is this one. These are the two tools that I would recommend for your email list if you don't have one yet. Claveo being the favorite, it is a bit more expensive, but it does so much, you're not going to need another tool. And then MailerLite is more affordable, still does quite a lot, not quite as much as Claveo, but if you're looking for something that's a little bit more affordable and that still works really well with platforms like Shopify and basically is really good for e-commerce, it's still a really good option. So start this list. If you are on Etsy and you are thinking about opening your website in the future, but you know that realistically that's not going to happen now in the next 2 weeks, that's not going to happen in the next 2 months, and then it's going to be Q4 already, then what we want to do is still start your list. You can still do that while you're working with Etsy. And then you'll have a great asset to actually promote your website once you get to it. If you have an email list already, you haven't been super active with it, you're kind of like, oh, Deb, I haven't been sending a lot of emails. Make sure that you re-engage that list, and then make sure that you clean that list as well, so that we're really removing people who are not engaging with our content and that are not basically, sorry, 1 second. Valley Mama's at work. I know, baby, I love that flower. Love you. Oh, guys. Okay, I've got my flowers. Sorry, I'm back. Okay, so where was I exactly? I can't remember. Yeah, clean up your list. Make sure that we're removing people that aren't engaging and that we're re-engaging and kind of rebuilding and warming up those people again. Now, step two, no matter if you've got a email, no matter what situation you're in, so if you don't have a list, you're going to build one. If you already have a list, we still want to look at growing it. So step two is growing this audience. Now, there's two ways to approach that. There's obviously ads and then no ads. So ads is obviously going to be the most effective way in the sense of it just works. It just means that it costs money. Obviously, it's ads, it's an investment. The best way to go at this is leads ads. So with Meta, you have various different sorts of campaign goals that you can look at. Leads ads are campaigns that are there to give you basically sign up into your email list. We're not looking for sales. We're not asking Meta to give us sales and purchases directly. We're asking Meta to basically get us people onto our email list, and then we take charge of the rest. And inside of our emails and broadcasts and email sequences, we turn these people into customers. So it's a more affordable ad campaign because we're not going straight for purchases and we're going for leads. Now, two ways you can do that. You can use a landing page. So if you have your website, you create a page where you have your sign up form and we're getting people to that landing page to hop onto your email list. Or you can use what's called instant forms, which, and you might have experienced that as a user or a browser on Meta or Instagram yourself. It's a form that pops up on Instagram or Meta or Facebook, sorry, that doesn't actually get you out of the platform. It you basically stay on the app and you just input your name and your email, and then it goes straight into the business sign up or email system. So they are the two things that you can do. If you don't have a website, so for example, if you're still on Etsy and you're thinking about launching a website down the track, leads ads can be really nice for that because obviously you don't even need a landing page. If you have a website, you can then take people to your landing page instead. Sorry, I feel like my voice is turning off a little bit. In terms of budget, I'd say around $10 a day is where you want to be for leads ads. And I'd run those for at least 10 days. After what, if you don't have more budget to keep going, you can kind of give it you can pause it, you can stop it. Less than 10 days is not going to be effective enough because it's not giving enough time for Meta to kind of test and analyze and basically get you some good results. As to what we are promoting with those ads, there's three main things, and they're going to have different kind of costs and different kind of pros and cons when it comes to them. The first thing that you can do to get people on your email list, well, actually, I should start with what you shouldn't do. What you shouldn't do is say, jump onto my email list, get studio updates, sign up for my emails. Like, no one wants to just sign up for emails or studio updates or anything like that. So what we want to do instead is say, I have something that you want. If you give me your email address, I'll send it to you. We have different options for that. The first one is going to be a giveaway. This is where we are saying, opt into my email list for a chance to win, insert what it is that they could win. And so basically people sign up, you have a date at which you're going to draw a winner, and we are getting people onto your list for a chance to win one of your products. Doesn't need to be your your most expensive products. It just needs to be a good representation of your brand and your aesthetic in general, because we want to attract people who are interested in having this product. Giveaways are really great for cost because they're more affordable. Your cost per lead is going to be a lot lower, which is great. And so that means you're generating more volume and you're growing your list more rapidly. The downside to that is that we're building our list with people who are maybe less ready to purchase because they signed up for a giveaway. They didn't sign up for, a coupon code to purchase. They're a little further away maybe from their purchase decision. That's why it costs less, and that's why we're able to have more volume with that. It is a nice time of the year to do that because then we still have a month before Q4 to actually warm those people up to get them to make a purchase with us in the upcoming month. And that also gives us time over those next few months before Q4 to engage with people who are going to engage after their giveaway sign up and clean up the people who are not engaging, and we just get rid of them and don't want them on our list. The second option for those leads sign up is going to be I call it informational. So it's like a freebie or a guide, a PDF. So, depending on your niche, it's going to look very different, but it needs to be tied into what your product is. So if you sell anything around, craft supplies, patterns, and things like that, We can have tips for crocheters. We can have, like something that's valuable, not your average general thing that people can easily find on Google, but something that's a little bit like, oh, I wonder how to do that, like hack to do something or something. If we are looking at skincare, we can also do freebies and guides. We could like how to actually moisturize mature skin. I don't know, I'm making stuff up. It can be quizzes as well, to build a routine. Basically, we're not giving away a discount. We're not giving away a product. We're giving away helpful information and getting people to sign up to our list for it. And then the last one is going to be your percentage off first order, or a coupon code basically to use on their first order. So 10%, 15% first order. It could be $15 as well if you want to use a dollar amount. It depends on your product price, obviously, and your profitability. We're not losing money on those offers, right? These are more expensive. So your leads and your email signups are going to be a little bit more expensive with those ads, but they are also warmer, basically. I'm not going to say necessarily higher quality, because it's not, I don't like to think of people as, low, high quality. But they are basically, from a business standpoint, they are more worth it for us because they are closer to making a purchase. When I sign up for a free coupon, sorry, not a free coupon, for a dollar off first order coupon, I'm signaling that I'm really interested in that product, because I wouldn't want a coupon for 10% off if I wasn't considering buying it. So the intent is higher, and that means that often we're seeing those people convert into sales much faster. We had actually someone in our program last week start running those leads ads with a percentage of first order and making sales within the welcome sequence, because people are jumping on the list. And then inside of the welcome sequence, they're actually using this coupon and actually making sales, which is a really nice way to also lower your cost of acquisition of those email subscribers. So different pros and cons, they all work, but I really want you to focus on audience growth and getting people onto this email list. Now, if you can't invest in ads right now and you need to go the organic way, I want you to think a little bit further than what you maybe do usually, right? We want to be a little bit more, I hate this word, but aggressive in our marketing to get people on our list now, to really build that list before Q4. Not in October, not in November, not at the end of September. It's starting to be too late for that. What can we do now that we can't do all the time that would help us get a boost? So it's not just posting on your social and saying, sign up to my email list, because that's something you should be doing basically all the time, all year long. But it's more like, okay, can I think about organizing a joint giveaway with complementary brands where all of us are going to promote it to our organic following? And so basically, because we are doing this as a group, we're all kind of like co-promoting, and we're going to see more signups. I know we've had clients that did that and had thousands and thousands of subscribers jumping onto their list thanks to those kind of joint giveaways. Make sure that you don't do that with brands that are direct competitors. If you sell reusable, fabric nappies, we're not doing a giveaway with other nappy brands. We're doing a giveaway with someone that's maybe doing hats for babies or clothes for babies. Like, we're looking at the same ideal customer, which in this case is going to be, parents of really young children, but they are selling different products, right? So we're not organizing something with our direct competitors. We're doing something with complementary brands. The other things we could look at is influencers or micro influencers, and really looking at them promoting our products and getting people to sign up to our email list. But I really want you to think further than just posting on your social about, hey, get 10% off, jump onto my list, because you should be doing that all year. We need to be thinking a little bit further and really organize something that's going to help you kind of jumpstart if you don't have a list or it's small, or really grow more efficiently your list before we get into Q4. So that's the two things, right? Cash flow. Don't stop now thinking the next time I'll run promotion is in Q4. What can we do now to actually bring money in the business so that when Q4 comes, we do have money for stock, we do have money to invest into marketing if we decide to do so, or in staff support, assistant, whatever you need help with as well, not just for marketing, but sometimes for operation. You need help with packaging, you need help with whatever it is. And then step 2 is making sure that we grow our audience and that we're not waiting again to, before, like, say it's end of September and suddenly panic that I need to grow my list. There is no reason to wait. And in fact, the earlier you start, the better off you'll be when Q4 comes. So they're the two things, right? Does that make sense, guys? Is there anything that cash will be great selling custom crayon shapes? Oh, Tina, thank you so much for letting me know what you sell. Custom crayon shapes. I don't actually know that I know what that is. Yes, I've got my flower brie. It's very sweet. It was a bit of a chaos situation though behind the doors because my partner Nick was trying to tell him he couldn't come, but obviously my son was getting upset because and fair enough. Why would he understand work and YouTube videos? He's way too young. It's nice that he doesn't understand it. Okay, so does that make sense, guys? Do you have any particular questions that you want me to answer about those two main things? I will say as well, I have something to share with you guys. Oh, melting crayons into molds to make shelves like, oh, yeah. Okay, yes, totally. I see it now. Okay, thanks, Tina. That makes complete sense. Oh, that's cool. That's such a relief. That's such a fun product. Very, very good. Very good for Q4 as well. I mean, all year long, we want stuff like that for our kids, but that's a really good product. Really fun niche. I'm sure you have a lot of fun with that. Yes, the question I get often is, what am I going to send to my email list? What do I talk about? I don't know how to come up with an idea for an email. I don't know what to write about. I don't know how to talk about the same products multiple times without sounding completely repetitive and using always the same words because for example, you, Tina, you might go, a crayon is a crayon. Like, how do or candle's a candle, or a ring is a ring. Like, how do I talk about these things without sounding repetitive? And then also, even if you do know how to do all these things, it can come down to, it takes me so long to write an email. Like, I do manage to do it, but it takes me so long that I can't realistically fit it in consistently enough into my calendar. So I have a little recommendation here. It is a paid product. It's $27, but if you want to check it out, let me see if I've got a link here. It's in the description, actually. So I'll put this one up. It should be in the link in the description, which is either below the video if you're on YouTube or above if you're on Facebook, somewhere around my face. It's a new product called the AI Email Kit for Ecom stores. It is basically a group of templates and GPT prompts that I've been using with my clients to help them write emails faster and good emails faster. Emails that sound like you. We are inputting information about your brand and your product so that it doesn't sound like all of your other emails out there that are basically just written by GPT and it's clearly obvious. It's about using AI in a way that's strategic, that takes the strategy we give it about our brand and products, and then has a bunch of different emails, different angles that we can use and reuse to write emails really quickly. So the link should be around. If it's not around, I'll just put it on the screen as well, so that you can go to that page directly if you'd like. And it will really help you map out the next basically 30, I would say, well, there's 12, it depends how often you email your list basically, but if you email your list every week, this is definitely 3 months of email written in probably 30 minutes to an hour, because there's obviously a couple of videos to watch once you download these prompts and these templates, to help you set it up for yourself and make sure that you have the strategy right. And then those templates, I should say as well, can be reused multiple times. So it's 12 templates, but each of those templates you could use another 3 times for another product, for another month, for another season, for another. So it is things that you can really kind of reuse. So if you are stuck with your list in a place of like, I don't know what to send, it takes me too long to write, I don't know how to talk about my products without feeling kind of like too promoty or salesy, but I do know I need to kind of promote because how am I going to make money if not? This is the product for you. The other thing I'll let you with, guys, just checking if we've got another question. Kit sounds great. Yeah, tonight it really, if it shortcuts the time it takes to do email marketing considerably. And so Laurie said, hey, Deb, any suggestions on what to include in the initial email you send to clients announcing your business, Laurie? So Laurie, do you mean announcing your business so you already have clients? Are you announcing a new website, or are you wondering what to put in the first email in your welcome sequence when someone joins your email list? If you could clarify for me a little bit, Laurie, I'll be more than happy to help you Right now, I'm just not sure because you're mentioning clients. So I'm assuming you already have a business that they would know about. But then you're saying announcing your business to them, or it's a pivot. Are you pivoting? Let me know. I'll come back to it in a minute or two, letting you some time to type. And while you do that, a reminder as well that if you need help with growing your sales in your e-commerce store, we have a program that goes way beyond just email marketing or ads, and really helps you from messaging, which is so crucial to know how to talk about our products, who our customers are, what our brand is about, so that we actually stand out from the crowd. It's really what branding is. We also talk about branding in the program, colors, fonts, all of that, but it doesn't matter quite as much as being clear on your niche and your customers and how to talk to those customers about your product so that they can't resist them, basically. And really having a magnetic brand that's going to draw some people in and push some people out, which is exactly what we want. We don't want a brand that's for everyone. So we talk about messaging, we help you with revenue mapping, which is really looking at your numbers, clarifying your goals, understanding how you're going to reach your goals, what's realistic, adjusting your strategies accordingly. And then we go into website, either if you don't have a website, building a website, if you have a website, optimizing the website. We then go into email marketing and help you with all of this, setting up an email list, your automations, sending weekly newsletters, organizing promotions, and mapping that out over the years. Well, I guess years, because you're probably going to be in business for years. And the system can be repeated every year. And then we go into marketing and generating traffic, which is both with organic social media strategies and also ads, and really finding this kind of sweet spot between the budget and the time that you have available for marketing, and kind of helping you decide what's the best strategy between organic and paid, or a mix of both based on your resources of time and money that you have available for your business. And it's all, we have weekly coaching calls. We have, obviously, I'm in there every day and answering questions. It's a lot of personalized feedback in there. We have weekly coaching calls, and we have other experts and coaches as well for things like ads, website design, email marketing, that can help you with kind of the nitty-gritty of getting this running and optimized for your business. So if you have an e-commerce store, or you want to have an e-commerce store outside of Etsy and you want help in that process, make sure that you check out, I should have a URL for that as well, this one here, the Launchpad. And obviously, if you have any question about it as well, you can always email us any questions that you have, and I'm more than happy to have a chat with you to make sure that it's a good fit. Let me check if Lori... I already have clients, but I've never sent any emails. Okay, Lori, so if you have an email list already, basically, well, it depends if your clients are already on your email list or not. If they're already on your email list, I would just kind of start sending weekly newsletters. And you could have the first one say, welcome, reminder of what the brand is about, what we're going to be sending. You can have a welcome introduction, but really what I would encourage you to do is think about the new people coming on your list and having an automation that's your welcome sequence. And the first email in the sequence isn't actually an introduction to the business. It's just a delivery of what your lead magnet was. So if you got someone to jump onto your list because they wanted a coupon code for X% off the first order, that's what we're talking about in the first email, because that's what we promised. We said, hey, sign up, I'll give you this, or sign up, I'll send you this guide on XYZ. That's what we're doing in the first email with the delivery, and then a very short paragraph about what the business is about and some key value points on the key selling points, basically, of the business that are the most attractive to your customers. But we're not going into a in-depth kind of introduction in that first email. We're really focusing on delivering what they signed up for. And then the second email, I really like to have actually what I call kind of the founder story, or the story behind the business, where you can have a more personal email that introduces the business story in a way that's relevant to your customers. We don't need to go into like an autobiography of, why you started the business, or it doesn't and can't be too long or no one will read it. But that's where we really go into more like, hey, I'm Lori, this is how the business started, this is what we do, this is why we do it, this is why you'll love it. And that's where in that second email we can have more of a brand introduction, if you'd like. But that first email should really be about delivering what we promised them they would get when they hop onto our list. And so, Laurie, if you're creating a list now, what I would actually do with your clients, you can't legally add them to your list without them opting in. So I would actually email them individually. If you have been in conversation with them, I don't know how you've sold in the past, but if you've had conversation with them and you have access, not on Etsy, because that's also not something you can do. It's a big no-no. But if you've been in your Gmail for some reason with them, maybe it's people that you've met at markets, maybe word of mouth purchases, things like that, you can actually email your client list, one by one on Gmail and say, hey, I'll just call someone Sophie. Hi, Sophie. I've just started an email list. I'll be, you basically send them the link to sign up, tell them what they get when they sign up. If you sign up, you'll get 10% off. You'll get a guide on this, whatever the lead magnet is, and just send them to your actual sign up page because they have to opt in. You can't just add them. You can't add them yourself in it. Not legal and not cool. Bad etiquette, and then also it's going to ruin your deliverability because people will mark you as spam. We don't want any of that. Vesper, yes, this kit is in the Ecom Launchpad. In fact, in the Launchpad, you have even more. You have 52 templates in the Launchpad. So do not buy. If you're in the Launchpad, you already have the AI email kit. If you're not in a Launchpad, but you want help with writing your weekly email, then definitely the kit is a really good product for you. Laurie, understand that's where I'll start. Okay. And Vesper, awesome. Okay, yeah, no worries. All right, guys, I will let you go. I did not stick to my 20 minutes plan. I think I kind of talked for 20 minutes and then we just kind of chatted. So I'll sort of take that as respected my timing, even though I never really do. I get too chatty. But thanks so much, guys. Pleasure to see you all live. Just making sure I haven't missed any last question in here. Okay, cool. All right. Bye, Laurie, Bree, Cindy, Tina, Vesper, Noisy Cookie. I'm sure that's not your real name, but hello and bye as well. Cat Short, everybody, thank you so much for being here. And I'll catch you next week, same time. We'll have another live session next week at the same time. So I'll meet you there. If you're on my email list, you should be getting a notification of each week. Basically, we send a reminder. If not, on YouTube right now, I really encourage you to subscribe to my channel, follow my channel so that you can get a notification when I go live. Really nice way to get reminded by YouTube as well, just before we're about to head into those live sessions. Bye-bye.